Back to chopping it up with dads, presented by Let's Be Dads. It's your boy York. I got my guy McLeod. We got our homeboy Eric over here. How y'all boys doing?
Doing good, man. Let's see another day.
For sure. Here we talk about real fathers have conversations. Today we're going to chop it up about financial literacy in the black household, breaking cycles, learning what we weren't taught, and preparing the next generation for building wealth. So, how do y'all boys feel about financial literacy? I guess within the black household.
Go ahead, E. Talk to him.
Yeah, I know you're pretty good with the finance. Yeah, I already know you're pretty good with the financially, boy.
Yeah, it's hit or miss, right? Like I think, good lord, um, there's some black families that it's very prevalent in they household, right? They grow up, certain income level, stay above it, constantly. They can kind of feed you information, but the majority of us is the complete opposite, right? Like it's you grow up seeing mom and dad do things a certain way, so you establish these same habits, and then um, 20 years down the line, you look and you're like, yo, mom might have been tripping or pops was wrong about this, right? Like you start realizing like the little things, like it's like little stuff that you really wasn't thinking about. But I also think too, money changes, right? Like the way that money is used and the way that like we kind of see it, it changes over time, especially when you start accounting for inflation, and different things like that. So it's something that even though you might be taught these good habits, um, you got to know like where to apply those habits because it's not always the same, right? Our grandparents growing up, a savings account was like the world. Like you could put money in a savings account, and that interest you was getting just by saving money was like a difference maker. Today, you feel me? Even if you put money in a high yield savings account, that money ain't. It's not going to shift the reality. So
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. I definitely agree, bro. I feel like that's something that needs to be taught in the household, um, just as a starting point, bro. Because it's even though like the schools are trying to transition to it, we can't even guarantee that they're gonna teach it to them to be entrepreneurs or anything. So just trying to create some type of standard, because like you were saying, like my grandma used to always just tell me, "Hey, just save $100 in your savings and stuff like that." But over time, we realized, well, that savings ain't doing nothing; it's just sitting there. Feel me? So it take like 72 years just for it to actually get some type of profit. So it's like we can't guarantee that I'm gonna live that long. So just being able to have some type of um way to like learn some type of financial literacy uh, will only benefit for generations actually, because like right now we can't do the same thing that happened 30 years ago or 50 years ago. We got to change up the game. So now we got crypto and stuff like that for like our future generations now. So I think it's important, especially in the black household. Like we don't come from no silver spoon, so we gotta learn. Like, okay, if we put in insurance on our car, why are we not putting insurance on our life? Because the car is the what else, but our life is a guarantee. So like just to have some type of like room to help for the future, so we could get out of that rat race. So I definitely feel like it's important.
Yeah,
What you think?
I think it got to be. It should be taught earlier, and like Moore said, it's like hit or miss. In some places it is taught, and in some places it's not. But I do think it's more miss than it is hit. I think less families, and we don't find out about it. I didn't know about really know about a credit card and like what to do, the dates, none of that shit until I'm 33. Until I probably was maybe 27, bro. You feel me? Like you learned about this stuff, but it's like you been then by the time you get to learn it, well, you didn't fucked it up. You didn't use a credit
Yeah,
card. You're all
I done
wrong.
ran, just
It's
done
been
ran the credit card
it's
up.
been maxed out. You ain't been paying the due dates. You're missing the interest dates and stuff. But I just think it needs to be taught more, just in general. But it has to be not only taught, but it has to evolve. Because like you said, that checking account, savings account ain't the same as it was 30 years ago. So how do we do that, and how do we teach? Instead of being surviving financially, how do we build that wealth? So what would y'all? I know y'all are more financial when it comes to your money than I am probably by by far. But how would y'all say? How would y'all go about building financial wealth instead of just building a family just to survive for paycheck to paycheck or whatever the case is?
It's really discipline. I say like even I still like slack with the discipline part of it a lot of times. Y'all can hear me, right? Just
Yeah,
make
yeah,
sure. Okay. Yeah, but yeah, and I still catch myself like I still mess up some money, right? Still triggered off on like things I probably don't need, whatever. Just greed sometimes, but it's really a discipline thing. Like it's a muscle more than anything, right? Like the same way that you go to the gym and you do bicep curls and every other bicep workout to maintain your strength in your biceps, right? Like that's the same way you got to kind of treat financial literacy and money is like I'm gonna constantly do this, right? So it can start with something like savings, right? Like you start off, I'm gonna save $50 a paycheck, or I'm gonna save whatever I can, 10% a paycheck. Then that turns into okay, well, now I got to this benchmark at I've saved $1,000, right? Okay, cool. Now I'm gonna take the same 10%. I'm gonna just put that same 10%. I'm gonna invest it in an ETF or something, right? Like it's the repetition of it, just building the discipline to like constantly do it, even when like you don't want to do it, or even when like a lot of times I think we have these like excuses like we're like, oh, I can't really afford to do it this month, and whatever.
mm-hmm.
But when you pull up to Chick-fil-A, you don't be like, oh, I can't really afford it this week, or I can't afford it this month, right? You just buy it. Um,
That
and
last
so
$10.
it's like sometimes treat it like that, right? Like with Bitcoin, like I buy $20 worth of Bitcoin every day. To like most people, that's like small, but it's like I know for a fact it's a 9 times out of 10 chance I'm gonna eat out that day, whether it be breakfast, lunch, or dinner. I'm probably gonna spend $10, $15 on something um, in the gas station, or like I said, eating out. So it's like, why not at least match that same $10, $15 with something that could like be paying myself forward?
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, discipline, and I like you said, bro. I'm better than I was, but I do think we, like you said, have to be more disciplined, and we got to pass that down. We can't just do it and then stop it. It's like it can't be like a New Year's resolution. Everybody go to the gym, and then fuck it. 2 weeks later, yeah, we're not going to the gym no more. It got to be constant discipline. But I think we just we become too greedy, and sometimes I think we will try to step out of not being disciplined, and then it's like a drug at an alcoholic. As soon as you get that hit, after not being whatever, you're just gonna take off and you don't know how to stop. So then you go back into those old habits. So I think you just got to create those habits, man, and then you create them and you pass them down. Don't just harbor them. Don't gatekeep them, because what's the point of me knowing and me dying without the knowledge? You feel me? It don't make no sense if I die with the recipe. Grandma, I still need them biscuits. I want them. I need the biscuit recipe. You feel me? I still want them biscuits. So how you gonna die without the recipe? But yeah,
Yeah.
that's my take. McLeod, how you feel, buddy?
Yeah, bro. I definitely feel like it's just the consistency. Like I agree with the discipline part of it too. Even like just wanting to learn a different skill set as well. Like you have to want to learn. You know what I'm saying? That goes with just the mentorship part of it too. Like if you want to save, like you was saying, like put a little $20 to the side. $20 now. Oh, that $20 done grew to $100. Okay, so now what do I do with this $100? I hear investing. Where do I invest at? So now you start doing more research of how to grow your money now. So like just being able to have just a little bit of knowledge to make you grow your money 10x. That's a benefit not only for you but your family and generations to come. So it's like just being able to take that discipline, like he said, just working out and stuff. Use that to your advantage because that excuse of, oh, I didn't know is no more. We have AI at our fingertips at this moment. So just look up, hey bro, like what saving account can I use? What is a high yield saving account? It'll give you a full breakdown. Where do I need to go? How much do I need to invest? So that excuse of I can't afford it, you could wait 6 hours to get the new pair of J's. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes miss out on that pair of J's and go put it to the side, or even just put. I know they talk about the shoebox part of it, like putting money in the shoebox, but it's a start for you. Like just because you don't know, at least put
Mhm.
something to the side because you're not guaranteed tomorrow. So at least hey, I know Pops got some money in that shoebox, so if he do pass away, I got at least something. So I mean, that's my take on it, but it definitely got to be consistent in trying to find like the avenues of investing.
You
Just
about to say
to
something more?
Yeah, I was gonna say just to rewind the conversation a little bit too. When we were talking about like black households, right, and like just wealth building, the thing that's not talked about enough in like black households, right, is like high earning um career fields, right? Like I think
Mm-hmm.
that's like the difference maker for the most part. Because realistically, like the rate of entrepreneurship failure is like very high, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of people confuse like having like a side hustle with being an entrepreneur. Oh yeah, I'm doing hair out the crib. This is my full time gig. I'm making enough money to pay my bills. That's a that's my I'm an entrepreneur. Oh, I'm heat pressing these t-shirts and I'm flipping them outside. I own a business. You know, it's not owning a business. And the reality is that like most people don't have the bandwidth to own a business and like not only own it but own and operate it, because it takes so much to do that, even from like an educational standpoint. um, Most people don't even understand basic accounting principles, so how are you going to be
Mm-hmm.
an entrepreneur and you don't understand basic accounting principles, right? Like it doesn't really work that way. It's very very backwards. But the one thing that does work, and everybody can't be an entrepreneur, that's the other thing too. Like everybody don't have the discipline to be able to withstand the peaks and valleys of entrepreneurship, because I know people who can make 10, 10, 20, $30,000 in a month, but then another month might be a, $2,000, $3,000 month.
Mm-hmm.
How do if you don't know how to withstand that, it's tough. So like really like understanding like what career fields are open and how these career fields can like progress you and your family, set you up opportunities. It's a lady that I got to like mid or intern under. Um, she works for like a government technology company. But her pops worked for like a government technology company before she did, and he taught her all about like, yo, number one, anything working for the federal state government, your job security is almost like 10x more than anybody else in the private sector. You're almost unfireable, right? So like that's the one thing that she carried with her, like, yo, I only work for federal government companies because or state government companies because I know that if they start doing layoffs on the outside, I'm almost guaranteed to be protected. She's had a job all her, she probably pushing 40 now, but she's been, you feel me, in the field her whole life and has never been jobless. She probably make $250,000 a year right now, and she worked remote every day. She
Probably got company shares, all type of shit. Yeah, I mean, Robbie, people don't know that. And I when I had kids, bro, I started thinking about that. So because I can't just quit a job. You feel me? Because I got to think about insurance. I got three kids. I got to think about if they get sick. Well, that hospital bill high. Even with insurance is high. You know, I got
What?
credit cards. You feel me? I got to think about 401ks. Okay, who you using for your 401k? What you matching? All right,
Mm.
bet. You know, well, can I roll this over into a Roth if I don't want to have it here? You feel me? And I think it's that's smart though, because I think people, like you said, they're trying to. I think it says like 65% of people are trying to be entrepreneurs compared to going to get a job. But I don't think people understand how hard it, like you said, how hard it is to even to start a business, because you have to know something about accounting to even know what you possibly can gross. And if you don't, you end up
and it's
in
not
all
even
kind of.
And it's not even
Go
just the
ahead.
accounting of it. Like again, when people get into these, like from an entrepreneurship standpoint, like people don't understand what a SWOT analysis is. Understanding, your strengths, your weaknesses, right? Um, they also like again before you like if you was getting ready to
Hold
start a
on, wait.
kid.
What you know about a SWOT analysis?
I know a lot about this, man. Like,
Hey, you might not.
Oh,
Hey, you might
hey,
not know
hey,
that. Hey, he
I'm,
is
I,
in it.
I study project management, bro. That's how I know about it.
yeah, nah, that's
Yeah.
what. Yeah, nah. I got a bachelor's degree in it's a business administration degree with a concentration in data analytics. So,
Mm,
but again, I took a bunch of accounting classes because at first I
yeah.
wanted to be an accountant. Like that's what I wanted to do. Once I got in them, once I did accounting one and accounting two, and then I did corporate finance, I was like, oh no, I'm cool. Like
Yeah. Good on that. Yep. Cause
I
that
wanted to,
pre-cal start coming in.
yeah, I thought I wanted to be in the finance world, but no, that was not it. For me at least. But that's neither here nor there. I was just more so getting at like people don't even understand like there's limitations to like what you're doing, right? Like even in business, people there's always outliers. So yes, you could always be one of the outliers, but the reality is if you go and you start a business, and I don't know these numbers to be true right now. Like this is just like me doing easy numbers off the top of my head. But like if I get online, right, and the first thing I'm planning on starting a T-shirt business or a clothing business, or whatever, and I get online, first thing I'm going to look up is like, what's the profitability in this business, right? Like, what's the chances of this business actually being successful? And I get on there, and the first thing it say is like the profit margins and close. And again, this ain't true. I know I'm not saying this is true because I'm just using fake numbers. But if it say the profitability on T-shirts is 15%, right? So I mean, I'm only able to make 15% more than what I'm, being or what I'm paying to get it made. Um, what's the cap on that, right? Like at that point, my cap is now like how many T-shirts can I sell, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then I also, my wife own a bakery, right? So like if you know, what's
Hey,
the
hold
average?
on. Congratulations to that,
For
bro. Don't just
sure.
speak over that.
Yeah,
Come on,
yeah,
bro.
for sure. Congrats to the
Congratulations to
wife,
that.
No,
bro.
but I'm just saying, like, so, like, but if we look it up, it's like, yo, what's the average revenue for a bakery like in our area? And if it say, let's say fake numbers again, but let's say 300, $400,000 a year, right? Well, that's 300, $400,000 a year, but that's not accounting for all the expenses, right? It's not
Yeah.
accounting for the wages that got to be paid out to employees. It's not accounting for, if the oven break and you got to get a repair, little things like that. It's not accounting for all the gas that you spend it, you know, going back and forth between grocery store runs and going to work, coming home.
Mm-hmm.
It's not even
Yeah,
accounting
cause
for your
shelf life.
it's not even accounting for your own salary, right?
Yeah, damn
And
sure not.
then, then add in, again, if you're doing this, if you paying yourself, you feel me? Now you kind of that same shit, or excuse my language, but
You good?
that same money is now also the money that you kind of got to try to figure things out with. You
Mm,
got to try to pay your bills, pay your car note, pay your insurance. So like it's
yeah.
so much to that like people
And then
don't
you
think
gotta
about.
make sure you put some stuff to the side for taxes.
Yeah, don't and you go well. You may want to pay them first. Go ahead and get little brother.
Yeah,
How you gonna pay them quarterly, annually? How you
yeah.
got to pay them things. They gonna get you.
But But again, like for some reason, the thing that like right now that's popular and being pushed on black people is like, yo, go be an entrepreneur. You never gonna make enough money working for the man. You never the government don't care enough about you. This that, and the third. But like, go look at your great granddaddy. Like he made a great life off of
Mm,
being a plumber, right? Your great grandpops was a trash man, but he made it work. And I'm not saying these are fields that you can go into and make it work, but actually these are still these are some
feels
of
that
the
you.
I was about to say these are some of the best paying careers
Yeah,
that actually low in numbers right now. So you could get out here
yeah.
right now, go get a general contractor's license, or go to school for HVAC, plumbing, electrician, any of that stuff, and you're probably on a better track than most people, just simply off of like making a better, a decision of like, yo, if you look up the numbers, the world or the United States is short on, I think it's electricians right now. So right
Mm-hmm.
now,
Electrician and plumbers.
yeah, so
Yep.
right now, some of these companies they're gonna pay you to go to school. They're gonna pay you while you in your doing your apprenticeship. I mean, they're gonna pay for you to go to school. I'm sorry, they're gonna pay you while you're doing your apprenticeship and school. It's almost like going to the military and then
Pretty
getting out with
much.
yeah,
Mhm.
like literally almost the exact same thing, except you not signing no contracts. So you could in the middle of your apprenticeship be like, you know what, this ain't for me and quit, but at least you tried, right? Like you could be
Yep.
Yeah,
like, I
yeah.
don't work out, but
I think people look at the numbers instead of looking at the whole thing in the aspect, and they look at when you're talking to people, you're talking to people that have these mindsets that aren't built like yours or mine or McLeod or certain people's, and they just built on, we should be an entrepreneur. But it's like, yeah, like you said, bro, I got other shit to take care of. I got kids, I got insurance, I got groceries. How we gonna get groceries? I can't go to unemployment. Tell them, yeah, I quit because I want to be an entrepreneur and expect them to give me food stamps or to give me unemployment. It don't work like that. But so I want to ask y'all. So when it comes to building wealth, how would you go about? Say if you had to do like a 5-step plan, you had to give somebody a 5-step plan on how to go from, I guess, building wealth from scratch. What would you do, or how would you go about that in 5 steps?
I don't know. I can't really tell you because I ain't did it yet. Like that's like real talk. Like that's the other issue, right? It's like a bunch, and this ain't to come or this ain't directed towards y'all or nobody, but like it's a lot of grifting now that's happening like in the community, right? Like it's a lot of like, yo, I'm gonna start a podcast about love and relationships and stuff. But I'm not married. I'm not in a relationship. I'm just telling you a bunch of stuff that I done been through or seen happen to my people in my life or whatever. I'm not speaking to you from experience, right? But I'm selling these ideologies to you based off that. People doing it with ebooks and courses, right? Like ain't
Mm-hmm.
never real
Especially in the
estate.
trading community.
Yeah, ain't did a lick of real estate in their life, right? Ain't never bought a house, done a deal, but they watch enough YouTube videos and read enough books on it to like sound like they know what they talking about. So they selling you these same principles that they finding in these books and stuff, and then they getting rich off you, but they ain't done nothing. Like and they don't got nothing to prove it. And so like I don't have a guide for you to get wealthy because I haven't gotten wealthy yet, right? Like but again,
So
the
what
thing that
steps would you? So okay, so what kind of advice would you give somebody that's, I would say, and we not financially, so it's not direct
yeah,
advice. But
yeah,
if I come talk to you, be like, hey, bro, I got this, like I'm in trouble here. This is what I got. What would you kind of advise me? I guess what to invest in or whatever the case is, or at least start up.
um, I,
We are not financial advisors, so please still do your own research.
yeah,
We
I'm not
are just
a Gary. This is all entertainment purposes only. This is
Yeah,
not
facts.
financial
that's
advising.
it, bro.
Please reach out to a
And
financial advisor to seek real help if you are looking for money as
this is just to help other dads who could possibly get any kind of
but
help. But yeah, but how would you, I would say, how would you go about it, or at least start, or what what,
um,
what would your what would you think about when going through that process?
number one, I would you would have to evaluate the situation, right? Like I always, number one is always evaluating your situation. What can you afford to I'm not even gonna say invest. I'm gonna just say what can you afford to put away? What can you not afford to put away? Is putting this away going to hurt you more financially than it's actually going to benefit you in the current moments? But a book that I read that like I really think like helped me early on was good Lord, I can't even see it from over here. The Total Money Makeover. That's what it's called.
The Total
And
Money Makeover. And I heard
Total
that.
Money Makeover. I think it's by Jalen Ramsey. I think I can't. Like I said, I can't see. Um, but one of the principles that like he had in the book, it was just like, yo, like save $1,000, and then like if you got credit card debt, for example, put $1,000 up in like an emergency fund, quote unquote, and then all your extra money from that after you got that $1,000 saved up, like start putting it towards paying debt down, right? Because I think the easiest way to like get the foot off your neck if you are messed up financially is getting out of debt. Like that's number one. Like the pressure of not having a car payment, the pressure of not having um credit card bills that's two, three, $400. Like you don't realize how much of your income that be eating up. But it eats up quite a bit of your income in reality. So that would be like number one for me is like, yeah, save $1,000 because real life emergencies happen, but like how many emergencies do you know that happen that's like over $1,000? It's like very, very few. There are some. I'm not saying they don't exist, but it's very few. That $1,000 give you room to breathe. So step two would be like getting out of debt, like clearing your debt, so that you can get that foot off your neck and breathe. And then from there, it would be, then I think the rest of it from there is like up to you. What's your risk tolerance? Can you stomach actually investing, right? If you can, then go, get with a financial advisor, figure out what your risk profile is, and see what they think like where you should put your money at. If you really don't want to invest, you don't think you can stomach it, this, that, and third, high yield savings. You can never go wrong with a high yield savings account. It ain't gonna grow as fast, but at least it ain't just money sitting there doing nothing.
Then,
Um, so I would say that, and then you got a plan. So I would say like Cloud talked about it earlier, but like life insurance policies, like making sure all of that stuff is in place. I don't know if you homeowners or just you own anything, making sure like you have an estate plan, a will, stuff put in a trust, all of that stuff like matters when you talk about wealth building. And I think the last thing I'll say, I know I'm like not in order. Like I said,
No,
steps
you
one and
good.
two,
You good.
yeah,
good, bro.
steps 1 and 2 very clear. Steps, 3 through whatever is like do it in your way, how you see it fit your life. But I'll say like another thing that like you really gotta like hone in on is like having like a family SOP, right? Like York, you kind of talked about it a little bit when you were saying like, yo, um, Granny gonna die with the recipe to the biscuits because she didn't want to share it. Um, that's kind of like why having like a family standard operating procedures matter because it's like, yo, this is how our family operates, and it kind of gives your kids like the same structure,
Gives
right?
them the blueprint to it.
Yeah, to like how they should want their family to operate, right? Like when your son grow up and he get married, it's like these are the principles that my family like raised me on. These are the things I'm not willing to like budge on because these things like matter. Um, because if you raise your kid to know the importance of like, yo, you need to always have life insurance. Like, it should not be a time like you don't have life insurance. Um, they'll value that a little bit more if they're hearing that from 5 to 18 instead of hearing it from 16 to 18, right? Because like it's being kind of placed in them from the jump. But again, like how your family operates, it's up to you. It's like the man to kind of like set that standard. Um, and be the voice of that. But like you should have it documented. Like I don't know where mine is, but like get a binder and just really create like a. I was in the military, so y'all know what a SOP
Yeah,
book look.
yeah,
Yeah, we
yeah,
know.
Yeah,
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 yeah. I work in IT, so I deal with SOPs all day. So yeah, I'm
yeah.
right.
Something like that, easily for your kids, for your family, and like um,
Yes,
and I,
sir.
I just too, I think like treat your family, your household as a man. You should probably treat your family and your household like a business. And what I mean by that is like
Mm.
um these companies report their earnings and stuff on a quarterly basis. Hey, this is where the family is at. This is where the business is at. This is how much money we making. This is how much money we losing. This is what we're trying to do here in the future. They go through the whole thing, right? They got to share that with their shareholders. But like in your family, like you have an opportunity to do something similar. Um, but again, it's private and it's between you, your woman, your kids, whatever. Because it might be you're not married. Like maybe you listen to this, you're not married, but you a dad that's still with his kid's mom or not, whatever. But at the end of the day, like you have the opportunity to kind of set that foundation. And so having those conversations, if we sit down and we plan our year out in January or December, we plan out the whole year. Now it's like, okay, cool. We got the year planned out. When do we want to do these things by? Now it's like, okay, cool. Then we go to these quarterly reports and it's like, yo, did we hit the target on this? We said we was gonna get this done by end of March or end of the first quarter. Did this happen? We
Mm.
said we're gonna go on a family vacation in the second quarter. Um, how does the vacation account look? Like, where we thinking about going right now? Right, it's the end of the first
Hmm.
quarter already. Do we have the finances to go to Disney World, or do we have to do something a little smaller? Right, like things like that. But like again, lining it up, um, and just knowing like, yo, this is like what we trying to do. put you light years ahead of everybody else because most people are just like blind throwing darts at the wall um, in life. You can't plan for everything, but like the things that you can plan for, you should.
No facts.
I,
McLeod, what's up?
man, I feel
Man,
like I'm pretty either.
Hey, look, preach, man.
nah, exactly, bro. Hey, look, you good?
Preach,
I'm over here
bro.
listening, getting game from you,
Yeah.
bro. Good.
It's a look. It's a reason why the topic is financial, bro. You here, bro? I follow
Hmm.
you. We've been so we've been knowing for since a career, bro. You've been financially savvy. You feel me?
Yeah.
So it's definitely
I just
appreciated.
try, man. Like I think that's the one thing I kind of I had the benefit of like I watched my dad make like a lot of money in life while like also like not being good with money. Like my pops always could make money. Thing about it is my pops. I won't even say he's like materialistic because he don't buy like name brand clothes and stuff like that. But like my pops always was getting bigger houses, always getting nice
Hmm.
cars, things like that. Where like, mind you, I would only spend like the summers or like Christmas break with my pops, but I'm living with my mom, and the reality is like so much different. Like we barely getting by on bills, different things like that at times. So, like seeing those two realities is kind of how I got my knowledge. Um, it's
Mm,
like, yo, like I don't want to live like how my mom is living, but I also don't want to mimic my dad exactly because yeah, he's making money, but he's not keeping it.
Yeah. So it's like, yeah, it's a fucking leak. It's always a leak, no matter because and it's no matter how much you make, if you don't know how to take care of it, if you don't know how to save it, don't know how to put it up, you're gonna spend it. I've blown through so much deployment money. No, you don't know that Korea money, man. But I wish I had that. And don't get it twisted. I don't regret anything I did with my money. You feel me? But as I'm older and I got kids, I'm like, damn. All right, well, Korea, I could have came home with 20 bands and it would have been
It's
good.
crazy because
Deployment.
I came home, so it's so funny because I met my wife while we was in Korea, but
mm,
you can ask her. Shoot, you ask McLeod. Um, me and Bailey, bro, we rode bikes everywhere. We ate at the DFAC every day,
mm-hmm.
and I barely ever got in a cab my whole time in Korea. I came home from Korea. I probably had like 17, 18,000 put up. Mind you, that was I decided to start saving money halfway through the tour. So we was already six
Hmm.
months into the tour when I actually started putting the money up. So I came home with like 17,000 off of 6 months of being there.
Yeah.
Like
And
just
who's making
imagine.
bank? Yeah, who's making bank out there
Look,
too,
look,
bro? Especially.
you was dedicated, bro. 'Cause even when we was out there in the Ville, well, I still got that video, bro. $10 for some blacks, McLeod. $10 for some blacks. They is.
I was at the
Bro,
blow. Hey, I was blowing it like I was rich. I ain't give a fuck,
I was
dog.
not
And
spending
he
it, man.
said, "I am not about to put that much money on for no
I
black."
look, I was blowing it. But I was smarter after deployment from when I deployed though. Like I came back with 15 bands or whatever. Now, granted, I ended up spending it, but the shit I spent it on was all needed or whatever. Now I would say I wish I had that money back to do some things differently. I would have put it up if I would have known about a high yield savings or ETFs or things like that 10, 15 years ago, or Bitcoin, or how to invest way back in the day or whatever when I first got that money. And
Mm,
who knows, I could have still been just as financially stupid as I am now, because even if I had that money, what was I taught? Who taught
yeah,
me? I didn't have a father. Even I had a mother, and we was barely getting by. So, in her, as you can see, her decisions, well, I can't follow yours. The ones you're
yeah.
making ain't good financially. So, what am I supposed to do? So, it's like, even if we have that money, how do you do it? I don't think I got a 5-step plan. I do think you got to plan for it. I think you have to plan for everything. Even the things you can't plan for, you have to at least put a tick and be like, well, this may happen or this may happen. But I do think you got to plan. You got to think about, like Eric said, the scenario, what's going on, what can happen, what will happen. Whether you got a job or stuff like that. But I don't have an in-depth plan. I think I'm still writing it. I think I'm so far financially, as far as the literacy part, I'm behind because I don't know, or I didn't know, but I'm learning now to be smarter with it. But McLeod, what would your plan be, bro?
Mine would be. I'm gonna go back to the career real quick. Uh, Kind of play devil's advocate a little bit. I was not trying to save no money because for one, this is a we was in a new environment, bro. We're teenagers at this point. We're in Korea, bro. So my thing was like, bro, I'm about to travel. The only thing I regret, I would say, is the clothes. I can't even fit none of that shit no more. But just like the experience itself, bro. Like that's like once in a lifetime type of thing. So I was traveling. I wasn't really worried about money. Like it just it's a new environment. So like until he got in my ear and was talking about, hey, bro, forex or you know what I'm saying, like learn this
Hmm.
skill, learn how to trade and stuff. I'm like, bro, you scamming. Oh, real. I'm like, you scamming. But
I try to get him. I try to get everybody like on
Yeah,
that.
I
everybody, bro.
can. Yeah.
And this is like before like because forex has like such a negative connotation
Yeah.
now because all these like what do they call them, like network marketing groups like do that stuff like
Hmm.
the feel like a pyramid scheme. But like a lot of people don't know you can do that. Like you can trade forex without being in one of those. Not to take over your spot, but like yeah. So like I was doing that without being in one of those, and I was another like one of our NCOs at E6. He was doing it. Um, I had found out about it on my own, and then I found out he was doing it. So I'll be up under him all day, like trying to learn from him because he was making bread doing it. Like I said, and he's not in these groups and stuff. And yeah, I try to put
Mm-hmm.
them boys on. I was like, nah, I ain't trying to do that.
Scamming
Facts.
us, nigga.
Yeah, bro. Because like I grew up and I've heard of like forex and all that stuff growing up, but it's like every time, bro. Hey, I need you to get recruited or bring somebody on, and so it's like every time any type of finance thing comes into the community, it always looked at as scam, which is scary. So it comes down to the individual, bro. I feel like, and if it wasn't for E, bro, I probably wouldn't even still be trying to trade or learn how to trade. So it's like at the end of the day, you still have to do the you have to have that risk, take that leap of faith, and at least try it for yourself. Cause how would I have known if I didn't give it a try? If I just immediately just like, nah, I ain't gonna do it, where would I be today? And this was over what, 10 years ago, 8 years ago.
Yeah,
Feel
probably
me?
about
So it's
10 years
like,
ago.
yeah,
Pushing
bro. So it's
10.
like just having the opportunity to just do that. But I would say my wealth steps or anything will be definitely what you were saying when it comes down to debt. um Being able to pay debt, it will be a big start. So like whatever you have as far as like a loan in itself, once you get that loan paid off, it's a thing that I learned about. It's called a debt snowball or debt rollover, whatever. Take that same
Snowball.
amount that you
Yeah.
had, yeah, take that same amount that you had and apply it to the next debt. So like if you got a high debt that's at and you paying $500 a month, even though that next payment is only 200, apply that same 500 over so it could cut down lower and lower and lower, and then go to the next one. So that would be the first one. I would say the second one would just be once your debt is done, create assets. You define what assets is because a lot of people don't even trust the stock market. So find what assets you can create. Follow the blueprint. If people are investing their money into real estate, find out what's needed to own a piece of real estate or even a pop up shop of a fireworks stand, bro. Like figure out a certain avenue that you could do to kind of benefit or grow your money some kind of way to create residual. I would say the third will probably be a high value skill. Like we mentioned, plumbing, electrician. Use that little bit of money to be able to pour it into you. And if you really enjoy that field, looking to starting your own business in that field. If you like HVAC, don't do it for free, bro. Charge for your time. Hey, I know my homie down the block know how to do AC. He can change the copper rate or your compressor, capacitor, or whatever. Don't do it for free. Be able to charge a little bit for your service because at the end of the day, you still got to pay for the part and the install. So learning the skill sets will only help you cut down your debt and also learn how to create assets in a way. And then at the end of the day, I would say what I'm at four.
Hmm.
Um, Protect it. Find ways to protect everything that you have. Because now that you got the debt and all that, figure out what you could protect. If you could put insurance on a car, put insurance on your life. If you know what I'm saying, like we are guaranteed to die. We're not sure when, but we will. That car is a what if, a possibility. We might get into an accident, we might not. So being able to put enough money or create a protection around your family is definitely important. The fifth one, I would say, if uh the opportunity presents itself and you want to have fun, if your debt is good, have fun. Enjoy the small wins, bro. Because at the end of the day, you're building this for your family, but you also want to create those experiences with your family too. So like, don't be afraid. Sometimes you could be stingy. You could be like E and be like, "Nah, I ain't about to purchase them blacks. Y'all go ahead." You could do that, bro. But sometimes just be able to, like, if you have everything, your responsibilities, and your like your kids taken care of, go ahead, go plan that trip. Make that SOP. If everything aligns, make that trip, bro, or make like enjoy life in a way because we only got one life, and every experience is lived through our kids. So experience it, bro. Like, of course, handle business in the beginning, but if you had the opportunity to have fun, do that. And I feel like anything that you do in the wealth part of it is you enjoying it. So if you enjoy like plumbing, bro, enjoy that shit.
Oh man, yeah, for
You
real.
feel me? Plum, bro. Like, don't worry about what the outside noise is doing because your family is taking care of your responsibility is done. So that's my take on the wealth builder. But of course, see however you see fit with it. But
Yeah, and take any advice with a grain of salt. See how you do what you do with it. So that will lead into the next session. So, what what money lesson, that what money lesson did you learn that you wish you knew earlier, and what money lesson that you was never taught that you wish you knew? I wish I knew more about. I think Eric brought this up earlier about his pops. How to retain money earlier because I made so much money early in my life or touched so much money doing whatever the case is, but never could be able to retain it, could never be able to put it in that shoebox and leave it in the shoebox. You feel me? Or you could never be able to keep that discipline long enough. Um, what lesson was that I learned? Um,
I don't think I really got necessarily like a lesson because I think like they all came like when they were supposed to, if that makes sense. And
mm.
I know that's a cliche to say, but I think
Well,
like
break that
that's
down. Give me an example.
so like the whole like investing stuff, right? Like when I brought it to like cloud and I had touched like hella money before like we had got to Korea and stuff like that. Like that the getting money part wasn't an issue. Mentally though, like if somebody would have told me to invest, before we had got to that point, um, I would have been like, if somebody could have broke that shit down to me all the way through, and like Cloud kind of said, I would have just been like, oh, whatever. Like I ain't worried about that right now. Like I'm getting to the money. Like it's coming so fast, through whatever means that I'm getting the money from, legal, illegal, all types of like, like I'm spending it because I'm getting it. It was nothing that anybody could have told me at that point in life. It was nothing that anybody could have showed me at that point in life. That probably would have changed that. The actual lesson came from like when I wasn't getting money like I was used to, and I was like, this ain't, it's not fun. Like this not, I don't want life to be like this. And again, like I can't speak to everybody else's experience, but I remember like the first couple months in Korea for me was miserable. Like from the standpoint of like, bro, I had never been away from my family like this.
yeah,
You know, um, I can't talk to my people like the homies and shit like I normally would on a day to day. Not kicking it with them. Shit like so. It's like all this stuff is like brand new. Um, and in that moment of like I won't even call it solitude or isolation, but just like in that moment where like it felt like everything was like so unfamiliar. It felt like the perfect moment to like get into like stuff like this, right? Like at that point, my mind was open more because I was in the military for like money and shit. Like it was like, yo, I don't want to
Mhm.
keep doing what I'm doing. I want to keep like, you know, working these low end jobs. I don't want to keep, my homegirl, she just during the military, she gets $16,000 signing bonus. I hear 16,000. I'm like, shit.
I need one of them, bitch.
Like,
Quick.
like, what? Like, so, um, but not like that. That being the reality of it, right? So, like, I'm here because of money at this point. Like, I'm so, and again, it wasn't that I didn't have money. It was just that the means in which, like, I was getting money, it was like, nah, like, this is not what I see for myself. I don't see myself, I think at the time I was working two jobs and I was doing a little side hustles. I was selling t-shirts, and some other stuff. But like, again, it's like, it's just not what I seen for myself. And so she like, yo, I got 16 bands to go to the army. Like, shit, I went and seen the same
Time look
recruiter.
now.
Yeah, I went and seen the same recruiter, everything. Like, shit,
Same day.
you got her 16 bands, what you can give me. Set me
Nah,
down. I did a
yeah.
little, I didn't even do the ASVAB. I did like whatever little test they was allowed to do, like at the recruiting station. So
Mhm.
I'm doing the test in his office, like very next day or some. And like, yeah, you just got to go to the center to verify your test scores or whatever. It's gonna be the same questions. They just trying to see if you're gonna put the same answers down. Do that. I ain't get no signing bonus. No, so like I went in there for
That's it.
I went in there because she get my scores was too low. I didn't get no signing bonus, and not like too low on like some dumb shit, but just like, nah, like
Yeah.
that for that job or the job that I was offered. None of them was, they didn't have like low enlistment rates at that job, so it was like, they wasn't really offering bonuses at the time. But it still turned out to be one of the best things I ever did because again, like it put me in a place where like I had to be more open to things. So like I was more open to the knowledge of, maybe I should be investing, or let me at least, roll
Give
the
it
dice
a
and take the risk with this, and see how it works out. Then before I probably wouldn't have done that.
I'm glad.
The lesson. What lesson did I learn? Shit, it's I'm gonna get my head smacked a couple of times before I get where I want to be at. So, I mean that's really what it was. Just being able to take that leap and just trying it, bro. The lesson is to keep going. Like every time, like even when it comes to like a challenge, like I blown a bunch of accounts, bro. But it's teaching me something every single time. So like, oh, I got my stop loss too close. I'm risking too much. The R to R don't make sense. So every single time I'm blowing an account, I'm taking notes on it. I'm learning from it. Okay, I'm holding a trade this long. I'm swinging it this long. I'm in and out the same day. So just being able to actually put into detail what's going on is only going to create a better craft for you. So while you going through the process and you learning, you able to kind of give that blueprint or that steps for your kids too. Cause now they could choose to listen or not, but now at least you did your part and you gave it a try. Like I'm not the smartest person in the world, but I bet you I know how to delegate. I know how to go and like find it for you. But for something that I know that I do, I'm gonna teach you this part of it. So the lesson is just being a lesson. Like I'm going through that process of it. So um, yeah. What was the other question? I know you said what lesson did I learn? What was the other one?
Damn, I forgot it. It
Oh
was what lesson?
yeah.
Now the second one was it popped up in my head. But I do have another question. So when it comes to, and before we get to our game section, when it comes to financial literacy or whatever, and the things we weren't taught, do you feel like because he wasn't taught these things that it gives us that much more strain as a father when it comes to trying to do better and be better for our kids or for our family?
Nah, I think the goal, right, is like, and I'm pretty sure like if you go ask your pops or whatever, like yo, the goal was always for you to be better than me, right? Like I think, and even like your moms would probably tell you the same shit. Like y'all always wanted to see you do better than me, right? So like, um, if they didn't have the knowledge, but I got out, I got up out here, figured it out, and now I'm able to do better, or like, and not even I don't even want to say do better, but like I'm doing, where I'm at. in my age or at my age, like I'm doing better than you was at that age, make you proud. It makes parents proud. And so I think like it's one of those things where it's like if they had it all figured out right, um, and they passed it down to it. And this, I'll say this. This is why like you probably see a lot of like kids of like multimillionaires and things like that, like struggle in life because it's like, yo, like my pops, like for example, and again, I don't know this to be true, right? But like, if you're the son of Bill Gates, like that gotta fuck with you to some capacity
Mm-hmm.
because yo, my pops created the system, the compute like one of the computer systems that like
Everybody
the
use.
entire world is using. How do you be better than that, right?
Yeah.
Like that's like very hard to and like that's and not saying that's Bill Gates's kids like issue like that they struggling to do something like that, but like that's a real issue for people. Like some people get caught up in that. For me, it was very I hate to say it, but it was kind of easy to surpass like make my parents proud early on because like yo like yeah, they did good for their life. Like both my parents, graduated college. I know a lot of people can't say that. I can proudly say like I had two educated parents. Neither of my parents' had graduated college, right? So they had did something better than their parents had done. But like so it's like just being able to be incrementally better every generation kind of mean a lot. So like, if my son go off and like do some super cool stuff, it's like, yo, like that's gonna be dope. That's what I strive to see. Is just So having it figured out, I don't think takes away from like your parents being able to, or take away from how you maneuver. I do think the less financial stress, your parents probably could have been better parents to you. I say that all the time. Like when I be looking at my son, or I look at like how other people in my life who may have financial stresses that I don't have, and like how they operate with their children, I'd be like, that's coming from a place of like the stress from finances. That's not even coming from the child because the child just being a child 9 times out of 10. Um, realize, yo, you mad at your kid for making noises and playing around, not because the kid is making noises and playing
You
around,
can't pay a
but
light bill.
you in your head trying to do the math on how you finna make whatever happen, and it's distracting you from that, and that's why you get mad at your kid for being all loud and stuff in the moment or whatever, like you know. Um, and
That
so when you
sound like
start
four
really,
agreements right there, boy.
you
You
said
said
what?
what?
I said that sound like the four agreements right there.
Oh, it might be. I got the books and I never finished one. That's crazy, but that's the reality of it, and I think like a lot of people don't realize that is that like um they kids like man when you realize like yo like this is especially when they like young. This is their first time like experience all of this stuff. Like we be so like, yeah, it's the moon because we seen that shit for 20 plus years, 30 plus years now.
Like,
But
damn,
to
Pop's
that,
only been on this earth for 2 days.
that 2 year old, 3 year old, like it blow their mind, right?
Yeah.
But like, I do like again going back to the question, which was do I think like had I gotten different financial lessons, would it have changed like parenthood? I don't think so because again, that goes back to like what I said before. It's like knowing what I grew up in and like seeing what I saw allowed me to like be more open minded about all of this stuff as a dad. I'm not
I
so
think it
quick.
creates more stress. I think it's just more stress overall. But I think that stress contributes to the type of father you are, type of husband you are, type of person you are in general. Because, like you said, if you're stressing over rent, yeah, everything is gonna piss you off. I don't give a fuck if I'm $100 short. I'm mad because I'm $100 short, and I think I start to think about, well, damn, why am I $100 short? Well, what did I spend $100 on that I could have had that $100? But I think I think that stress just trickles down to your wife, your kids, the dog, the something falling on the floor, and it just pisses you off. But I think and I think that that leads into the health issues as well within the black household, especially with black men, because we stress so heavily. I've been through. I got 3 kids, bro. It's been I haven't always had a good job. You feel me? Since leaving the military, I've had to work. I got into IT by myself. Everything I learned by myself. You feel me? So in order to be in a position now where I can provide and I don't have to worry about rent, I'm so much less stressful that I can pay the credit card and stuff like that. But it is times where I'm still like, ugh, I don't know. And it may stress me out, but I think about it, especially when it comes to the kids. I try to make sure I keep that shit separate so it doesn't necessarily affect them. You feel me? But I do try to at least keep them in there so they can understand conflict does happen,
Yeah.
but just because it happened doesn't mean you got to take it out on the whole household because it's not your fault. You you 5. I expect you to scream and yell all day. I'm not no I'm not mad at you, but I think it does add a lot of stress. And I think I'm a victim of it, of probably overreacting because I've been stressed when my kids were younger because of certain things or because of certain positions. But is I think I can't blame nobody other but myself because I should have knew better, and if no because nobody taught me, and that's not even an excuse. Nobody teaching you is not an excuse anymore. You should have at the age of 27, 25, 26. That shit don't matter no more. Yeah. Cloud, what's
Yeah.
your take on it, brother?
Bro, I think it comes down to just face value at its finest too, a reality. Cause you understand that you want better, even like for your kids. So like when I'm going after high school, I think that's when reality kind of hit me too. Because now, like right out of high school, I went straight into college. Like went to HBCU, and then I started working, and I'm online. So I'm online, bro. I'm like, I'm working on online, and I'm like, bro, ain't no way I'm about to put some oil on a boat on this car passing me for the next 20 years. I was like, I can't see myself doing that, bro. So like, just being able to take certain like stories from like your parents, and then like I never got the chance to meet my grandpa. So it's like just being able to start a new generation of financial literacy is only going to create stronger growth for generations to come. It got to have some type of foundation somewhere. And then I'm just peeping game from like my parents. Like, man, y'all been working y'all whole life, 20 plus years and stuff, and y'all not financially where y'all want to be. So what can I do different? Y'all done the blueprint already been there as far as it's working. But I'm grateful because they did what they can to be able to provide food and clothes. It might not have been the best clothes, or the best shoes. I couldn't afford them J's. I had them Perry Ellis's. You feel me? So it's like being able to just go through school and just appreciate it. Like now you understand like where I could come from now from here, because I know their generation and their like family generation didn't really have it, but now it's like damn, I ain't get left nothing, or from great grandpa couldn't leave a car or something to kind of get a head start with anything. And now that I'm noticing, like my family is trying to do that, so now I'm trying to figure out what can I do for my family in the future generation to leave some type of legacy behind. That go back to our last episode, like just being able to continually grow. Just as a parent, you have to be intentional about it, and I'm actually seeing that more with our toddlers too. Cause shit, I got 3, bro, so I understand like the kids gonna be kids, but at the same time, what are you doing financially to make sure they're okay? Because even if they have certain disabilities, they have to have the money to be able to pay for these disabilities.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like having that certain structure will only bend it, like help them later on in life. So I would say just being able to take that leap and creating some type of foundation for our kids, it will only help them in the future. Um, but yeah, I ain't gonna go too deep on it, but yeah.
So, all right. So, based off that, so do y'all feel like it's harder to maintain wealth that you are given or to build wealth from scratch?
You gotta
That
appreciate
was-
it. You gotta appreciate it, because even if somebody
yeah,
did
but
just,
what's easier though, or what do you feel like it matter if you appreciate it or not? But which one do you feel like is easier to
I
maintain or
mean,
easier to, I guess, to which one you feel like would be, I wouldn't say easier, but more beneficial to carry on?
First,
We getting it from the ground, bro, and we working with it. I mean, we have no choice but to I would say appreciate it. It'll be easier in a way, but it'll be gone like that because it was just handed to us. But
But what?
we
But but
go ahead.
what if you was taught those lessons and then it
Yeah,
was handed to you?
that's what I was about to say. Like it's all circumstantial, right?
Essential.
Because technically, an athlete, an entertainer, rapper, all of those, they build that wealth from the ground, or that the riches. I won't even call it wealth. They build the riches from the ground up. I mean, you hear about athletes all the time, like 3, 4, 5 years removed from playing, getting that last contract, and they broke and
Oh yeah.
bankrupt. Um, um, and so like it's very different. A lot of times, if wealth is handed to you, it's like 10 times harder to like fuck it up. Honestly, like you got to truly like be trying to fuck it up a lot of times, because a lot of times if wealth is handed to you, it's not just one generation of wealth that's being passed down to you. It's multiple generations of yo pops, your grandpops, your great grandpops, your great grand, like like. And again,
yeah,
that's not the reality for a lot of black people. That's more so the reality that you get from like a Caucasian or an Asian household, different things like that. Um, that's not our reality 9 times out of 10. Most black people are getting it, out the mud. There's families out there. There are black families out there that have, built this
Yeah.
absorbent wealth. So I
yeah,
don't want to say it like it's not a thing,
But it's not
but
as common though. It's not as common,
yeah,
and
it's not as
most of
common.
us are like you said, are getting it from the mud instead of getting it. I would be okay with some nepotism. If my sperm done had a company that was worth 16 trillion, like with what's the Cowboys or Jerry Jones, I w-
Yeah,
I
hmm
would be great. I we ain't got to sell the company pops when you die. I'll take it. It's worth $13 billion.
yeah, figure it out.
yeah.
But
But
could you?
that
But
brings it back to the morals, like that he was talking about too, like creating that character within your kids. Because just because it get handed down to you, that don't mean you could start being disrespectful to. Like sometimes it's cool to pop your shit, but you want to be humble with it too. Because at some point you're gonna come across somebody that got more money than you or something like that. So it's just like how do you? I don't know, bro. It's like being able to get like from generation and just hand the shit down to you. You still got to be able to take care of that family, because at the end of the day, you want to be able to grow. Even when it comes down to like your kids and the marriage, you want to be able to have a strong marriage. So like even if money is just being thrown, that mental health shit still gonna be there. You feel me? You got to be able to like still keep the family together. So those morals and principles still got to be together, regardless of that shit just get handed down to you. Hmm.
I hate the
true.
word humble. By the way, I just hate when I hear that word. That's like
What?
Humble.
humble.
What?
Oh,
I
humble?
like I
That's why I said you can
yeah.
pop your shit when you want to, but
I just
what's
hate
wrong with
the
being
like.
humble though?
I think it's the context and how people use it.
I think for me, when you look up like the by book definition of it,
Let's look it up.
I think it talks about like having modest estimate of your own value or self value, self importance, or something like that. Um, I just don't subscribe to that. I think in order to be something in life, you
Mm-hmm.
have to think so highly of yourself. You have to live in like
Yeah.
delusion a
Yeah,
lot of times,
yeah.
right? And so if I'm running around telling, or people tell you to be humble because you making them uncomfortable with themselves. It's never
Hmm.
because like you actually like, for example, you could go buy you work hard, you got a nice job, you've been driving the same car for 15 years, Honda Civic, little Chevy Malibu, something, car
Mm-hmm.
10 years old now, it's having trouble, right? You go buy a new car, you want to show it to your friends, your family, different things like that, right? Like you happy, you worked hard for
Yeah.
this. Might somebody in your life might be like, oh yeah, man, it's nice, but better stay humble because y'all gave it to you, you can take it away from you.
And it be your own
People,
homies.
yeah, people never tell you this. It's never somebody that's like doing better than you that's telling you, hey,
Hmm.
yo. be humble, like humble
Yeah,
yourself a little bit. It's always somebody that's like respectfully probably doing worse off than you in life or whatever. That's like trying to like bring you back down.
yeah.
Um,
Like, damn,
and
bro, I can't have no excitement for myself. Shit.
yeah,
Nope.
and so like that's why I just don't subscribe to like humble. Like yes, I believe in like humbling myself before God.
Mhm.
But like outside of that, I don't have to make you feel comfortable. Like
Yeah, cause I work
like
hard.
we
I work hard for my shit, bro. Like,
yeah
And I'm gonna
it's
pop my
my
shit.
time.
yeah we can be homies and stuff like that. But if me like wanting to talk to you about the successes in my life, different things like that, make you want to tell me like yo humble yourself. Like I don't know. I don't think we really cool. Like we can't really be homies like that then because if I'm really yo people, like I want to see you do great. Like you doing great, like make me
I'm gonna
happy.
celebrate you,
Um,
yeah, for your
Yeah,
win.
and
yeah,
I've noticed that too. Cause even when I catch myself, sometimes I had to like stop because it's like I be excited when I talk about trading and stuff like that, and then I be feeling like I'm bragging, but it don't ever come off like that. I'm like, bro, I'm just experiencing this, and I just and I get so excited about it. But it's like
You just
I look at people facial expressions and stuff
you
like that,
just
and it
popping
kind
your
of like
shit,
makes me
bro.
feel a certain way. So I'm like,
Yeah, but
damn,
you
bro,
put the work in. But you put the
exactly.
work in to learn this. Like
Yeah.
my wife is gonna talk to me about computers, bro. And bro, Eric, I can break down. I can tell you how to build a computer, how to build a server, how to do
Yeah.
a lot of different stuff. And I don't be knowing this stuff until I really get into it. And I'd be like,
Mm-hmm.
damn, you need to humble. But then I'd be like, nah, fuck that. Because who was the one who I work overnight on computers all night. Who was the one to do the training? I'm working on my master's degree. So for what? Now I do think you have to be humble in some situations, but I do understand that the definition of it is stupid. So I read that shit so y'all can see it. He was pretty close. It's humble describes having a modest, low estimate of your one's own importance, or being un pretentious and ranking low in status. So the actual definition, I don't agree with it, but I think the context and what
Damn.
we probably use it at, I think the context that we use it. So like if I'm telling you to stay humble, I don't think we
Yeah.
using it with some
In
people,
that
but
kind of
me
way.
personally, I'm not using it. It's more so okay, cool. I think you tripping right now. Maybe you need to calm down. But I do
Mm.
understand I do understand it though. Where
but
you coming from, bro?
but see that, and I think that's where I struggle. Is like we don't get to change what these words mean either, right? Like because I think that would be my other argument on that. It's like yo, like we don't when you use the word humble, like that's what that means. Like that's the context or not that like
Yeah.
that's
That's
the
the
definition
definition.
right there. We can't change that. And I think it's better ways. Like it's like, yo, my man told me like, hey bro, like I think you kinda, you being braggadocious right now. Something like that. Like if you come into me like from a sincere place and I can feel that this is you being sincere. I just don't like when at least for me, I ain't never heard nobody tell me to be humble, and it felt like they were coming from like a sincere place. It's always
Mhm.
been like I said. It's always been uh you might not be doing what you want to do in life, and you see me like I don't have the fears that you put on yourself, so I'm chasing everything I want.
Yeah.
So now yo, oh, I see you doing it big, big dog, but stay humble. You don't want to, you can lose it all. Like,
I'm gonna lose it
Yeah.
all, bitch, when I
Put
blow it, when
that
I
on the
blow it
downfall.
all
What
out.
you talking
yeah,
about?
I'm
man,
gonna lose it all because bitch, I ain't gonna leave it to you when I die. You're not finna go try to fuck my wife when I die to get my money.
So
Nah,
how would y'all relate that to the kids? Would y'all tell y'all kids to pop that shit, or y'all going you feel me just that humble? It sounds like it's out of the picture for you. E, how would you present to them?
I wouldn't
I
have to tell. Oh, you can
go
go
ahead,
ahead,
bro.
Jordan.
No, go ahead, go ahead, go
I,
ahead.
I wouldn't have to tell my kid anything because one I believe in allowing kids to like be themselves, right? Like you grow into who you gonna be. Um, what I'm gonna be is just like an example of what I think is a good man, good husband, good
Right.
father. Um, so like um, I don't go even with poor service, right? Even if I get poor service somewhere, I don't go nowhere without leaving a tip. That's just me. Like I can
Mhm.
hate service. I could be very, you feel me, upset. But I don't know what type of day that waiter having.
Yeah.
Last person that they had before me, you feel me, could have been an asshole, could have had a fucked up attitude and treated them like poor. And yeah, the waiter shouldn't bring it over to my table.
Mm.
Um, but I'm a human. I know what it's like to have a bad day. So I'm not going, I'm not going to put that on them, right? So like that's something that my son is going to see that because we go out to eat enough. You see me, you see how we handle it when the service is bad. You still see the tip being left. You still see all of that. Um, you see me give money to the homeless. You see me stop, pull over. We going in the gas station or whatever. Homeless person sitting outside, coming back outside with water and chips for him. Things
It's-
like that. You're seeing me act in a manner of I'm not putting myself on this self righteous pedestal that I'm better than people, right? And I think that's like how I would do it. I don't necessarily got to tell, or I wouldn't tell you like because you go again. Everybody do it. You get some new stuff. You get some fly. You get some good kicks. You put on a good fit. You gonna
Feeling it.
You pop your shit. Yeah, we popping.
that,
Yeah, you
that's
gonna have to
that's
pop your shit right here.
Yeah, you
that's
gonna
black.
flick up at the gas station.
Yeah, that's but that's like black. But that's like part of black culture. Like
Yeah, so
when
why stop it?
when Martin Luther King and Malcolm X and them was going on the marches, they was in the finest suits they could find. Like they wasn't
Mhm.
going. They wasn't
Haircuts,
going.
glasses, yeah, fresh.
So yeah. So like again like the whole that's like black culture. Like you don't got to tell nobody to do that because if you black and you growing up in a black household with black parents that live in like and have lived within black culture, you probably naturally gonna do that anyways.
Yeah, yeah,
Not to
Yeah.
make it about that, it's not necessarily about black men, but like we
yeah.
black
Them,
men. I'm
the
just being
two
honest.
Yeah,
twelves
we
is
black.
Trump.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they in there. Nah, I'm not teaching my kids to humble themselves whatsoever, dog. I'm not. It's not. I don't. Anybody know me? I don't humble myself. I'm gonna speak how I speak. I feel
No,
how I
for
feel. If I'm having a bad day, I'm having a bad day. If I win $1,000,000, you may not know I got $1,000,000, but goddamn it, when you see me on the horse trotting down the goddamn side of the goddamn road, just know I got this. That's a
Yeah,
nice ass horse, boy. That's a,
nice at horse,
just
man.
that's a nice ass horse. And you could be. And me personally, bro, you can if you're a homie and you hating, I'd rather you hate in the background, bro, and keep that shit away from me. But my kids gonna know that
It's like,
just just
damn, bro, you
just
could
pop
put,
your shit.
yeah, cause it's like, damn, bro, if you want to just learn,
You
just
can
ask, like,
and I'll teach you, bro. I'll show you. But for my kids, nah, pop your shit. But I do think it is times where you have to know when to shut the fuck up or know when to not be so, like you said, braggadocious or not when to be so out with it. If you're going to church, I don't think it's time for you to pull up in church with a 20,000 Louis Vuitton suit that got LV all over it with red. I think that's inappropriate. But if
but
you know,
if you do that though, don't do that, and you ain't getting like. And again,
you
I'm
gave
not
that to church, yeah.
because a lot of people, right? Like I do think there's some churches out there that like they do a lot of stuff for money, right? They just trying to get money out of people's pocket. But if you pulling up to the church, LV head to toe, um, but you can't donate a bag of candy for the trunk or treat drive at the church,
hmm
that's an issue,
yeah,
right?
you ain't
Yeah,
got no humility. Yeah, there's no
No,
humility in you.
yeah. When I mentioned like I don't like the word humble, the one thing I did say is that I humble myself before God, right? Like
hmm,
that's the one place I will. There's a lot of things that um I don't necessarily like or agree with some churches, right? But I do understand that like religion is like a really big foundation as far as like setting at least a moral compass for your kids. Um, whether you believe in like a religion or not, um, a lot of people get their moral ground from religion. So
yeah,
you know you what you find acceptable and unacceptable is oftentimes taught through
Hmm
religion, school, and your parents. And so again, I just try to show up in those places, the best that I can be.
Yeah.
Like I don't even like even down to, and I think I feel like I'm going off topic, so I hope
Yeah, it
if
is
I
what it is, dog.
bro, you good.
no,
You on here
I
for a reason. You good, bro.
I just remember I think I remember like hearing y'all like have a conversation before about like disciplining your children, different things
hmm
like that. Um, and I think everybody's allowed to do that and maneuver that how they see how they see fit. Um, I can speak from like my experience, right?
Mm.
Uh, I didn't I didn't discipline my child from a physical standpoint. For most of his life, like he's 4 right now. Um, he's probably I can probably count on like one hand how many times I've like actually like whooped him. Um,
Better than me.
because but
PTA.
because again that goes back to like that the why are you doing it, right? And then like what are you getting out of it? What is the kid getting out of it? Like it's a lot. It's so many questions that like you had to ask himself. And there was one time I think my son was probably like I want to say he was 2, probably. I think I whooped him. It's probably one of the few times where I had like whooped him. Um, and then like after like I had like this like guilt feeling, and like so now I'm asking myself like dang like am I wrong? Like why did I do that? Is that
Was it that serious?
Yeah, and when I this is like one of them awakening moments when I thought about it, I'm like, yo, number one, he a kid, and I can't even remember what I whooped him for. Like that's another thing, right? Like
Hmm.
I don't even remember what it was for. It's kind of like a telltale sign that it probably wasn't as like serious as it felt in that moment. Um, but then I'm like, dang, like now I'm asking myself, yo, is there better ways that this can be done? Like, can I have done it this way? Did I whoop him because like he really deserved a whooping? Was this like actually a moment that I could talk to him, teach him, like explain some stuff to him? Like, so I start asking myself all these questions. Well, I can't. The conclusion I came to is that like I don't believe in like the gentle parenting because I don't think gentle parenting necessarily works. But I also don't believe in like I need to hit you to get this point across. Um, because I think like that blurs lines, and a lot of times, again, they're kids. They don't know, like they don't know the reality. Like even if you tell them, like they might know, but they might not understand. So like if I'm whooping you and you don't even really understand it, you'll do it again because you don't really understand why you get whooped. You just got hit. So technically, even if you don't do it again, it's not that you not doing it again because you are like, oh, I shouldn't do this because of this. It's just like, oh, I don't want to get hit again, so I'm not going to do it. So now you live in it,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
So like when I started thinking about all of that stuff, it's like, nah, there's other ways to do it. So I started thinking back to like, yo, like what's some of the things that like I hated that like would hurt, but it ain't like me put like you'll probably thank me for it later. So like my son get in trouble, hey, go sit on the wall, go do a wall squat till I tell you to
Yep.
stop, right? Put your arms out. Daddy, I can't. It hurt. It hurt.
My
Right.
feet slipping.
It wasn't
Yeah,
hurt when you was about to being bad, goddamn it.
yeah. So like like I started thinking about all those other ways that I can parent you, I can discipline you without like it being that because again that was like that's not solving anything. Um,
Mm.
so even then, like right, like while you're in the wall squat position, now we can talk. I can talk to you about why you here, why, and yeah, you can. My mom talked to me a lot while she was whooping my ass.
Spelling out the words, huh?
Y'all fast.
I can't tell you one thing that I remember from any of those whoopings.
Besides
Not
the
one.
ass whooping.
Besides, exactly. But
Mhm.
like again, I think and even if you don't remember nothing that we talk about why he in this wall spot, guess what? Guess what? When his legs is strong and he can hit that jab step pull up 3
Mm.
with ease,
Yep.
he can. You feel me? Hey, Dad, thanks. So like
And,
that's
and just being able to like lately since we've been on the podcast and stuff, I actually slowed down on the whoopings too, bro.
Good
Because
job, dog.
I
Thank
know,
you.
man, because it been making sense just hearing from all the fathers and stuff like that. Because like, damn, man, it's my girl. So in a way, it could be killing their confidence, or they don't want to come to me and talk to me about certain things. So I have been doing like the
or
wall splits. Go ahead.
no, I was gonna say or a boy, man, whatever, put their hands on her and she take that as normal because my dad
You
grew up
put
hitting.
McLeod, what does that say? I do not put my more. I don't put my hands on my daughter. I got my oldest is 5. She's a girl, and I got 2 boys. I do
Mhm.
not physically discipline my daughter whatsoever. I'll threaten her. My biggest thing is a corner. The
Yeah,
corner
they implementing that.
take away devices, bro. iPads, TV
Yeah,
time, stuff like that. No park time, stuff like that.
Yeah,
But I don't put my hands on my daughter because I never want her to equate that
exactly.
with a man's love. But also, when it comes to disciplining my boys, I'm not always physical. Corner, let's talk about it. All right, cool. Well, I'm gonna take. You want to throw a toy? Give me that toy. Go sit on the couch. You want to scream? All right, well, cool. Well, you can go cry in the room. Let me know when you finish.
Yeah,
Stuff like that. But I do believe some kids you need both. Some kids they just be thugging, and you just gotta sometimes. But like you said, the more you do it, I think that comes back to we speaking as far as what was the question you asked, McLeod?
ah, shit. We're gonna have to
See,
rewind. Cause
but either
I get so
way,
caught into it,
either
bro.
yeah, me too. But either way, I think it correlates into it because it goes back to teaching our kids about how to deal with certain things or how to be able to deal with your emotions. So if you're being too braggadocious, well, how can I get you to calm down without breaking your confidence?
Yeah,
Without getting you to understand, but also I want to get you to understand. Well, we come from kings, we come from gold. I don't know if y'all know, but we come from gold. We black people are gold is our shit. If you look at any history, ancient whatever, Pharaoh, Egypt, the niggas back then had gold. They were buried with gold. So I think we just have to learn how to do that without breaking our kids' confidence, and but also instilling those values of how to save your money, how to not only that but get a good job. So you get a good job, you can make money. Like you said, bro, you can ain't nothing wrong with making $200,000 a year from
yeah.
somebody else, and you ain't got to pay the taxes on it.
Right,
And you
right.
probably gonna get and if you don't know, when you get that high up, they start offering you company shares. Or they
Yeah,
start offering you different incentive packages to even do that, which yeah, it's 200,000, but it's 250,000 because they gave you a 2% profit share in the
yeah.
company. So I
So
think instilling that stuff, but doing it the correct way and not overdoing it or not like you said, just beating your kids or whatever, but instilling it in the correct way.
yeah, do y'all believe? I kind of want y'all opinion on it. About flipping the switch. Like you could add black in the moment, or you switch it, go corporate level and talk, or keep it black
Yep.
off.
Yep. I And yeah, me, I do it. I have to because especially when you say, "All right, bet I work in the corporate world." So when I answer the phone for these lawyers and doctors, they don't want to hear what's happening, Joe.
Yeah,
Nah, this is York. This is York with the 20 support desk. How may I help you? But when I get home or whatever, I don't necessarily have to speak like that with my. But don't get it twisted. Even if I'm in a corporate world, there is times where I can just I can be me. You feel me? But at the end of the day, I'm unapologetically me. So even if I have to step into that corporate world, it's still a bit of me in it. But I know how to do it so it doesn't jeopardize financially my kids or my job or something like that, so I don't get fired.
um, I'll say it's like a 50-50 thing because it's like certain settings you need to, um, and you got to have the skill to be able to do it. And what I mean by that, right, is like, I work now. I'm working like in an office, like a for a Fortune 500 company, right? I'm in a, we got the CEOs in our building, the CFO, COO, all these people, directors of whatever departments, all of that. They come through. They do, just come talk to people, this, that, and the third. Um, but like if you come and you interrupt me in my daily life, right? Like I'm not switching for that, right? So like
hmm
if me and the dude in the desk next to me, like we joke around, we play around all the time, we not. I'm not going to be that person that's about to you come around. I'm about to
Yeah.
straighten up.
tighten up. Yeah,
You feel me? Um, if me and bro chill out, and I like again, I take a lot of my actual personality with me to everywhere I go.
fact.
Um, so I'll be like, we joke around, be like, hey gang, hold on, I'm finna get this work done. That's still gonna be I'm still gonna, in front of, if you just come into my area, my workspace. But if we go into a meeting, right? And it's with these same high ranked individuals. I'm not going to be doing a PowerPoint presentation like, yeah, gang. So this is how this X, Y, and Z finna go
Mhm.
down. So like that's not how I carry about. So like it's like knowing like, yo, this is my space. Um, yeah, you have this rank, but like you're not going to make me uncomfortable in my box. When I come to your boxes,
It's
I'll
different.
show up. I'll show up how you want me to show up. But knowing how to code switch also is how you get further in the world. But you have to be likable. Like more so than anything, the code switching don't matter if you likable. I work at a company. You're not supposed to wear sneakers. Like they're not and like sneakers is not a part of the dress code there. The lady there, she come in there in J's every day.
Don't give a fuck.
She but her position right like she's like a director or something like that. But she told them, you know, when she was coming from whatever company she came from, she said, "Yo, I know y'all said this." She said, "I'm not coming if I can't wear sneakers." She's like, "I don't wear heels. I don't wear slot like the little slippers and stuff." She's like, "If I'm going to come, I'm going to come as me. And if y'all can't accept that, I don't want to come." And they could have been like, "Well, nah, that don't fit our company culture, or whatever. So now we're gonna pass on you." Um, but they didn't. They took it's a black woman too at that. Like it's not even like this. This not no. This is a black woman telling older Caucasian men in positions of power, quote unquote, like yo, like this is how I'm going to come into your establishment. You can take it or leave it. And they rolled a dice on it, and all of them talk about her highly when they talk about her. Yo, she's done X, Y, and Z for the company. She's been here. One of the best hires we've ever made. Da 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 da. That comes from like not being afraid to like know like what boundaries you're willing to let down,
Mhm.
which ones like are, hey, this is what it's gonna be. But because she's good at her job, people like working with her.
Yeah.
I, I don't care about what sneakers you got on. You making money and we
Yeah.
and all
The
the
company money.
all that, but more so than just making the company money, all your subordinates speak highly of you, all your
Mhm.
superiors speak highly of you from a
Yeah.
personal, from like a individual standpoint. Not oh she's super good at her job, but oh I really love being around such and such because she do this. It's real relaxing with her. It's real, you know. You create that though. Like you create that within yourself, being comfortable enough in yourself to be like, yo, these are the barriers that I'm not willing to let down just for a job is how you and the sneakers is just like that's a real thing, but that can be anything. That don't have to for you. It don't have to be sneakers. For you, it could be yo. I want to wear hoodies every day, or it could be yo. I want to be able to talk this way. This is how you know. This is the slang I use. I want to be able to say this in the office and then not be looked at a certain way. There's certain things you can't say, of course, but
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah, shoot. For me, I would say definitely that is a good skill to have as far as code switching. But I find myself not code switching for some reason. Like even when I talk real estate, I see somebody on Facebook. They be like, "Hey, I'm looking for a realtor." I be like, "Yeah, what's up?" Like I just be, I don't know, bro. Like I feel like that's a way of being likable because I'm being myself in a way. And I like sometimes, of course, I feel like, of course, it depends on the room that you're in. The like, if you even going for a job, it's a certain way you gotta hold yourself. You gotta be accountable for your actions. But if you like an entrepreneur, I mean, and you just trying to figure things out, of course you want to become likable person to person. But I just be myself, bro. So it's kind of hard. Like I could code switch. Like I said, it's a good skill to have, but I'm not about to be all preppy just to be to your liking. That's my only thing.
if the yurt what's up is my first introduction to you, don't
I ain't
fail.
buying no house from you, dog.
No,
I
no,
ain't buying no house from you.
no, no, it's not even. It's not even. I'm not buying a house from you.
Mm,
It just doesn't land well,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like if I post, hey, I'm looking for a realtor, and David comments and like, hey, I'm a realtor with X, Y, and Z. How can I help you?
Mm,
Emily, hey, York, I'm a realtor with B E and D Realty. How can I be at your service? And then Cloud come in and like, like you see like how like
Nigga doing that shit.
you already took yourself out the equation because
No,
yeah, you being
it stands
hold,
out differently though, bro. Because
But
but
everybody
not to
else is
everybody. But
calm.
not to
no,
everybody though. It's not to
Everybody
hold
is
on,
everybody.
commenting the
this
same
is this is
thing though.
this is no, but this is why yes, it stands out, but it doesn't stand. It's there's your how can I help you does not stand out with somebody who introduced themselves by name and provided the credentialing of this is which company I work with or this is who I'm partnered with, whatever. It don't land the same because a yurt what's up is not the same as I'm McLeod with whatever. And you don't have to say it like that.
Yeah.
Find your find your way to say it. Like, I've seen your TikTok videos or whatever. It's like freshest realtor in the Central Texas area, whatever. Great landing or great, great Martavius McLeod, fresh like that's a great intro. You
Mm,
kind of tell them about yourself. So now if I hear freshest realtor in the Central Texas area, I'm thinking, okay, this dude finna have the best suit on I ever seen or the best outfit, something, right? Like
mm.
that lands better than like even if you was just using that as your buy-in to get people, it lands better than like just comment your what's up
You're
on somebody because yeah, just
Nah, that makes sense, bro. I appreciate y'all for calling that out. I won't do
it's
nigga
it
like
said,
again.
yeah, what's up? I'm not
that's not
saying don't
and
do it, but you got to know when and
When
where
to
to
do
do it. Cause I be on the phone with.
by the way.
You said what?
I said that's not code switching by the way either. Like properly introducing yourself is not code switching. Um so because you can introduce yourself like that to that client be like, yo, you know what, I'm gonna rock with you, or you introduce yourself properly to the client be like, yo, I'm gonna rock with you.
I'm
Take
switching.
me out,
it? Yeah, cause they
take me
comfortable.
take me out to come see a house or whatever. You get out to the property with him. This your first time actually like interacting in person, right? When he walking up or whatever, you could be like, "Yeah, what's up? How you feeling today?" You feel me? Because now you get to get my energy in person. You can
Mm-hmm.
read. This is like, oh, this man is excited to be here, showing me this house today. Now
Yeah.
instead of like, yo, why, bro, on the comment section tweaking? Like,
Yeah, talking about you're what's up. Bitch, I'm trying to
yeah,
find a house.
so
You can at least, give me what's your name, your at least
Yeah.
your number. But yeah, I think you just got to know when to do it, bro. And it's not saying that you can't do it because I'm not always correct at work when I'm talking to people on the phone. And as soon as I hear you say some slang or whatever, it's I'm
It's
gonna
over with.
switch. It's because it resonates better. But if I'm talking to like say if a CEO calls and the whole time they're just being correct. Okay, well yes ma'am, no sir, thank you, for sure. Now, if Jimmy McLeod called me and started talking, be like, yeah, well, I was at the store getting some hot Cheetos from the hood store. Well, if I was chilling on the block,
Who's
well,
dope?
it's a little different conversation, but it doesn't necessarily, like you said, it's not code switch. I think it's just fit into your environment and
Yeah.
adapting to your environment and stuff like that. But it's not necessarily code switch. It doesn't make you any less of a person or whatever the case is for doing that. It's just you just got to know your environment, bro.
Okay.
code switch code switching is not being yourself at all, in my opinion, right?
Yeah.
Like you go into these rooms, right? Like I'm a from you a basketball fan, or you feel me? I'm a big basketball fan. I go to work, it's nothing but soccer fans that in the building, and that everybody hate basketball. So now I might switch how yeah, I fucking hate basketball. Basketball
Yeah.
sucks. Only black people will play. Only improper black people would play basketball. No, I'm not doing it. Or like just changing the words you would use, all of that stuff, changing your interests, all of that is code switching. Showing up being you, but like also understanding like, yo, there's a time and a place for shit. I don't view that as code switching. I was raised with common sense. I was raised by a
Hmm.
single black woman in America. Nigga, I know when the cops pull me over, nigga, I'm not rolling the window down, blowing smoke in a cop face.
Yeah. Facts. Facts.
I'm not, I'm like, what the fuck you want? when he walk
No,
up to the window,
I already got my license for you.
Yep. My
I'm black.
hands
Look,
already up here.
I'm black in America, so
Yeah.
like, but for some reason, like them principles that you learn, like the survival principles that you learn, um, whether it be in the streets or whatever, like if you apply those to different areas of your life, people look at it like, oh, you trying to be whitewashed. Oh, you trying to be. Some people have no regard for for themselves or their own lives enough to like even consider like doing that stuff, which is why you see
Yeah.
a lot of videos of like cops pulling dudes over, cop simply asking, "Yo, can you step out the car?"
They
And
arguing with them.
arguing, not because you feel like you already being wronged, right? Like you already feel like you're being wronged, but now you're giving the man an excuse to wrong you more,
mm-hmm.
right? Like, and I'm not I don't agree with like police brutality. I don't agree with like how a lot of these cops act, this, that, and the third. This is not a justification for that. This is just saying they're already trying to treat you like less. Don't give them even more of a reason to treat you like less. You feel me? Yeah, stand your ground, but like if you got kids to make it home to, what's more important? Letting that cop have his heyday, or you feel me, making it home to your kids? Like,
Mm-hmm.
cool, I'm gonna pay you this respect. The uniform or whatever. Here go the license. Here go hands on the wheel. Oh, I need to step out. Cool, it ain't shit in this car. And if anything in this car is legal anyways, so cool. You feel me? We gonna map that shit out. Go on about the day. All that bickering back and forth with, and it's not just with cops. This is with anybody in power. For
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
some for some reason, like we struggle with authority as people, and it's because like when you feel like you always done wrong, or you being wronged by authority, you always on the defense side of things,
Yeah. You going
right?
front on everything.
So like my thing is like you can play defense without it like looking like defense in this world, right? Like I can play the game. That's what the army taught me. Just play the game, because if you play the game ends fast.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
You get out of all these situations a lot quicker than trying to. It's so much easier when they ask for you to step out the car, give them your license and registration or whatever. Um, if everything good, you're not doing nothing you shouldn't be doing, whatever. You're gonna be back on
Doing
about your
good,
day.
yeah.
You you resist arrest, and on the flip side, you resist the arrest. You talking back and forth. Next thing you know it, you in handcuffs downtown at the station. Then been here for 3 hours. Got to wait for your baby mom to come bail you out. She don't get off work till 5, so now you have to be here
Mm-hmm.
for another 3 hours. She come bail you out. They process the paperwork slow as shit. If you ever been locked up, you
That
know
take another
about that.
8 hours.
Yeah, so now you get it's 3 o'clock in the morning by the time you get out the thing. You got arrested at 2 o'clock.
Yeah.
You missed
So
your
instead
whole
of
day. Now you
yeah,
mad because you couldn't just shut the fuck up.
yeah, so like
Trying to
that's
prove a point on camera.
but that's corporate. It's not, and again, this is not even about the cops. Like this, but this is like the when people be like, "Oh, you code switching," or "Oh, why you code switching for them?" Me just having decent common sense to know, like, yo, in that situation, like, this is what I can do so I can get home or
Yeah.
whatever. It's the same shit when you in a corporate office or when you online trying to get clients for your real estate business. Is hella
Mm-hmm.
simple. It's show up present yourself in a way that initially it makes them put their guard down.
Yeah.
Because as a black man, most people are already approaching you with their guard up. So if you make them put their guard down, if you make them put their guard down first, now the whole exchange is different. It's comfortable. And again, that's not to excuse the fuck shit some of these cops will be doing, because some of these cops will be assholes, racist,
Off the
different.
rip, as soon as
Yeah,
they get out the car, they
like
already being a
you have
dick.
yeah, you have no chance with those type of guys. I'm not excusing those type of guys behavior, but what I'm saying is there's some where it's like, yo, they got every intentions to send you on about your way.
Yeah,
You
I
make it.
got a job to do, dog. Look, I got a
Yeah,
job. You was speeding. Let me just give you this right here. Just deal with it in court, bro. Is it worth? I done seen a few videos, and even growing up, I watched my father get pulled out of the car. I call him a sperm donor. I watched him get pulled out of the car. I think maybe on like I was probably about 8 on my 8th birthday, and he just went along with it, bro. You feel me? But imagine seeing that, and it was a different situation. Imagine how that you feel me, that shit can impact your life, and I think that goes back to, like you said, kids. We watch so much. You know, our kids watch so much, and I don't think we notice it. So it's like even the little things we do that we don't think we're they're watching. They're watching, like code switching. Imagine
Mhm.
if you chilling with your kids, and then your homeboy come over, and oh, now all of a sudden it's fuck the kids, and you're not even worried about the kids, and you just with your homeboy or whatever. Your kids may see that as being different or whatever the case
Yeah.
is. So you just gotta, I think, teach them the right things. But I mean, shit, everything is not gonna be 100% perfect. So I think you just gotta, kind of choose, just kind of show them the best way to go about the best situation and make it, and give them to understand that everything is not gonna be a concrete answer. Some things are gonna be circumstantial. Everything can't be an army answer. Sometimes you just gotta. I gotta give you the hood answer, son. That bitch got you fucked up. Go smack him. Yeah, or I gotta give you, well, look, son, you got 2 kids, you got a 401k, you can't really afford to lose your job. I get he being a dick, thug it out for a couple more months until you at least find better. Don't just be so rational about it and just code
Yeah,
switch and be stupid, you
yeah,
know?
Yeah.
and approach
But yeah,
everything just off of emotion. Yeah,
yeah.
I don't got
What you about to say,
nothing.
Eric?
Just
Yeah,
nothing.
go ahead, bro. We finna end it, but you can go ahead and go. I know we probably been in this bitch for me. We appreciate you for coming on here, dog.
Nah, I appreciate y'all for having me.
For
yeah,
sure, for
Um,
sure.
definitely, bro.
I
Thank you, man.
Yeah, I have to double back on something. I'm gonna figure that out. Cause it was a lot to talk about. So yeah, we'll figure that out.
Yeah, you
I
all
get what,
good, buddy. All right, be easy, dog.
all right, yeah, y'all do the
Yeah.
same.
That
All
was
right,
tough.
bro. Yeah. We got one more session. We got to do the game real quick.
Okay.
I was trying to get through it, but we just be, we just be going
Yeah,
through
we
it.
just be
So
going.
yeah. All right, cool. So dad knows best. So quick game, bro. So first question: what percentage of Americans live paycheck to paycheck? 10%, 60%, or 85%?
85%.
85%.
85.
I say 60%. Let's see what it say down here. You said 85?
Yes, for sure.
60, my boy.
Really? 60?
Yeah, 60%, 85. I don't think what yeah, I don't think everybody living, not 85% of Americans, 85. We ain't talking about just blacks. In
Okay.
general.
Yeah.
In
Okay.
general. In
Yeah. In
general,
general,
yeah.
I could see 60 then. Yeah, I could see that.
So, but yeah. But I mean, yeah, we all living like that, man. All right, question number 2. I'm tired. I ain't gonna cap. Biggest reason people stay in debt. A, spending habits. C, jobs. Not then B, jobs. C, debt.
Ooh. It's between spending habits and debt.
I got debt.
Yeah, I would say debt too, because spending
Debt.
habits go as debt.
It go as debt.
Because
Yeah,
we
yeah. The answer is spending habits
see,
is the answer.
and yeah, I could definitely see both covered because we so quick to. Well, I'm speaking just on my experience. I ain't gonna even speak on the whole black community, but I just feel like we're real quick to finance everything. We'll put it on. We'll like, hey, we'll pay this little bit, and then we'll add a little bit later on. So it
Mhm.
looks like because we got the material now, but we got to pay it off later on, and then the interest gonna hit, and I feel like that's what creates us because we want it now. Black Friday, they'll slash everything whole time. That was the same price from last week.
Yeah,
they
that's
just
for real,
add
for real.
they just add a red mark on there, bro, and we just
That's
so
all they
quick to want to
did.
purchase it and put stuff on layaway. So that's why I say I see both because buying those certain things create that debt. So
Okay. All right, question 3. Best first step to stability. This one is more of a subjective question. So I guess what would you say your biggest for your best first step to stability would be? One word. One we need one word.
Save.
Save. I was gonna say budget, so the same shit. Say well, no,
Yep.
because you can save. You can save without. Well, you can budget, but still suck at saving.
Exactly.
But can you save without? But you can't necessarily save without being able to budget.
Yeah, because you could
Right.
budget everything all over the place and you still broke.
Still broke as fuck, but it's because
So,
it's everything spent. You're not
yep.
saving that money. All right, question four. This one looks stupid. Oh, what percent of people have $1,000 or less saved? A 5%, B 40%, C 75%.
$1,000 save.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, say it again. You said who has the less?
What percent of people have $1,000 or less saved? A 10%, B 40%, or C 75%. I'm gonna go with 10%.
I would say 75.
75.
Yeah, because I don't think a lot of people have just $1,000 saved, bro. Cause life be happening, inflation, like groceries and stuff going higher. So you tapping into that thousand, bro.
Quick, quick, because I tap into it. I can spend $1,000 in probably 2 hours with
You feel
having
me?
kids, and half of that is groceries. By the time I
Yeah,
go to Sam's,
them
HEB,
diapers, bro. The diapers not
di-
cheap.
well, I got one left. I got one last
Look,
Mohican, and we
see,
out of there. One last
see.
one, but the nigga Sam's cost me 400 off the rip just to step in Sam's.
There
It's
you
probably
go.
about 400. That's not including going to HEB or
Mm-hmm.
going to the, or doing whatever extracurricular activity I may have, or whatever the case is. So yeah.
And
But the
that
answer
just
here
groceries.
is yeah, it's just groceries. The answer here is 40%. 40% do not have $1,000 saved, which
Wow.
that makes sense. 40%, I'm assuming 40% or more, which makes sense because I can't count five people. I could barely count five people that make the amount of money I make per year.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not to brag about the amount of money I make per year, but I make a pretty decent amount of money per year compared to what I've come from.
Yeah.
And you know, and I don't even got, now granted I have money
The
put up.
thousand to save.
I got money put up and maybe I got a flex. I don't know if people know about a flex savings account. If you don't know about that, look into that. If you got a job, get you one. I got one of those. Credit card stuff like that. So I got ways. So it's just there. Now is it liquid? I
Mm-hmm.
can't guarantee it's liquid. But can I use it? I can use it if I need it. But 40%. All right, last question. Biggest generational wealth builder. Real estate, investing, or well, it's only gave two. But I would say, okay, so I would say so real estate, investing, and what's a third one, I guess? They only gave me two answers, two choices. I guess we could do those two: real estate or investing. If you had to say which one would be the biggest generational wealth builder, and I would say invest. I know you can kind of say real estate is investing too, but I mean like stocks, ETFs, Bitcoin, stuff like that.
Uh, I would say I
I
would
say
say
real
it's
estate.
kind of hard to say, cause I would say both, bro. Actually, because like you said, real estate could be considered investing, cause a whole different size of real estate that could happen with wholesale and short sale. You know, like just being a homeowner in general, it creating that equity, and the equity, like, and then if you look at just stocks and stuff like that, that's more long term, generational. You feel me? You could buy a hold and put beneficiaries under it, and it's also an asset that could be used as income for a purchase of real estate. So it's kind of like they both kind of go together in a way. I would say if we were to add a third one, it would be job skills.
Hmm.
Yeah, because depending on a certain job skill, you'll be able to amount that certain amount of money to like kind of get ahead in a way. So But I would say both. Honestly, there's no in between because investing or just real estate in general will always create the equity over time, unless you're doing something to the property that creates a lien on it. But over
Yeah.
time, buying this property and you rent it out and it's in great condition and it's in a great neighborhood because it's called I forgot what it's called, but it's basically location. So wherever you have your location at, and you get a lot of traffic and it's a lot of development around that area, it's always going to spike higher and higher. Even if it comes down to the person. So say we become famous, bro. The place that we at right now, just because we famous, it adds value to
Mm.
the whole like block. So
Yeah,
yeah.
you know that. See, learn something new every day. All right, last segment. Last segment. Building financial legacy. Last question. What does financial legacy look like in your family? Mine is non-existent. I would say I'm trying to build one.
We gotta get you
Uh,
started, bro.
well, no, when I say, I mean prior to me, non-existent. I didn't have that. I would say
Oh
now,
yeah.
it should keep dying. I would say now, it's just being more in tune, being more like financial literate about what it is, about what money is, about how to use it, about different accounts,
Mm,
Roth accounts, 401k, stuff like that. Knowing that 3% your job give you is great. You may want to look into matching that 3% because before you know it, you'll have five bands in your 401k and you don't know about it.
mm,
But that's because you just but yeah, I think just leaving, not only learning that stuff, but leaving it to my kids so they can
yeah.
understand it, so they can take it and pass it along and give it to their kids or whatever the case is. But that's pretty much what it looks like, and to me, or what I want it to be. I just want it to be to where my kids will never have to want again, never have to, whatever. But also they can have the discipline to know that, well, okay, cool. I am the CEO of a company that my father left. I don't
Mm.
necessarily got to work, but because of how he taught me and instilled into me, I'm gonna work it and I'm gonna build it, make it better. You feel me? But yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, definitely great create a legacy. Mine's non-existent as well. Just being able to just learn because I come from a family of just hard workers, respectable. Feel me? So just being able to be that first one that's trying to take a stab at financial literacy. I will only want the kids to learn from like get better, but also never knock the I can't even say humble no more. The hard working part of everything. So still
Yeah.
know how to get the money, create still have that hustle mentality, create that money so you could like keep it, bro. Cause it's one thing to make the money, but you want to learn how to keep it. So my goal is to have that financial literacy to the point where not only are we making the money, but we have a blueprint of how to keep it and how to make it grow residually through generations. So yeah.
All right, bet. Well, guys, we're gonna get you up out of here on this one. If this conversation helped you, make sure you like, subscribe, and follow us on all platforms. You can follow us at Let's Be Dads on all platforms. You can look it up and it should populate. But appreciate my guy Moore. He had to leave a little early. Got my guy McLeod on here. Fatherhood isn't about preparing. Oh, not isn't about fatherhood is about preparing the next generation financially, emotionally, and mentally. Like, appreciate you guys once again for coming on. Appreciate everybody for watching. I'm your guy York. Got my guy McLeod. You guys have a good one. All right, buddy. Take my.
Whew, that's some. That's